What's up, fight fans? I got some new news concerning, or should I say some more news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Tyson Fury had this to say. He said that if the fighters are willing to fight, why should a network get in the way? He says fighters use that as an excuse, aka Anthony Joshua. Fury told ESPN. He uses that a lot as an excuse, but I believe that if fighters really wanted to fight each other, as I proved, I was on BT Sports. I came over to the United States and boxed on Showtime. These fights can happen. Why not do a joint broadcast? It's been done before and it will happen again. Deontay Wilder can't run from Tyson Fury forever. This fight has to happen once again. That is the words from Tyson Fury. And, you know, he's right. You know, I feel that a lot of these networks have like dominant power over these fighters, and it puts the fighter in a position where they look at the bread that they're making, and him as a prime example, me counterpunching him across the board. Like, he took the ESPN deal, but then yet he had a contract that was ongoing with Deontay Wilder to fight him for 50-50. And that was once again going to be on Showtime, just like the first fight. So he turns around, signs the contract from ESPN, right? Gets all those millions or whatnot in the bank, which is good for him. You know, I'm not faulting him. But then all of a sudden, because Deontay Wilder felt either disrespected or felt that he couldn't cross that boundary to ESPN because of that dominant power, right? That fight wasn't going to happen. And then, therefore, by that reason, Deontay says, oh, he's ducking me and he's a coward and he's scared and he don't want to get in the ring with me. I gave him a concussion. That's why he don't even know how he got off the canvas and all this, that, and the other. Okay, that's what brought all that about. Now, as far as Anthony Joshua fighting on Sky Sports and then Showtime, you know, I don't think that was actually ever a reason, you know. Now, the only thing that I can add to that or support that what Tyson Fury said was the $50 million situation, which we've debunked, slid up the middle, turned inside out. And to come to find out, there was really nothing tangible that was holding that $50 million besides just words, what one person said and the other person responding from another person's words. Anthony Joshua said, you give me $50 million, I'll fight tomorrow. They capitalized on what he said, like they gave a shit what he wanted, right? And then they supposedly offered him that money through an email to Eddie Hearn from a boxer. Not the promoter, not the team, but the boxer. You know, supposedly a year later that there was details concerning the email, concerning the $50 million. But then no one wants to expose anything, so what the hell are we really talking about? Okay? But Tyson Fury is correct. He was fighting on BT Sports, and he did fight on Showtime with Deontay Wilder. So, you know, to agree with Tyson Fury, he's absolutely correct. These fights, if two fighters want to fight, nothing can really stop them. You know, not even the politics, because if a fighter really wants that, it's what the fighter's willing to do if the fighter doesn't get what he wants. You see what I'm saying? Let's say, for example, Anthony Joshua says, hey, I don't care what type of money is needed to get Deontay Wilder in the ring. Let's say he was looking at Deontay Wilder like he was looking at Charles Martin, right? And Charles Martin, he gave Charles Martin the bigger portion of the pot because he knew Charles Martin was that champ, okay? Charles Martin was the IBF champ, and he gave him $8 million to fight him in Britain. So basically, he gave up what he could have made and gave more of the pot to Charles Martin to get Charles Martin over across the pond and knock him out and take that belt, right? 2 rounds. Very impressive. Oh, another champ, right? You know? So, sounds familiar? 1 round, 2 rounds? Okay. Anyway, But in this case, let's say Joshua says, hey, you know what? Let's treat that the same way. Let's get Deontay Wilder in the ring. And let's say Eddie Hearn says, no, well, you got Sky Sports, and it's kind of impossible to do that at that point. Well, it's now up to the fighter still at the end of the day saying, hey, well, if you're not going to get me the fights, I need to leave you at Sky Sports because I want to get that fight. And me leaving promotional companies, sure, it'll put me in a bind, but I can afford to buy myself out of this contract. That type of stuff. And I don't think anyone's trying to do that. Not Anthony Joshua, not Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? Because when Tyson Fury found out Deontay Wilder wouldn't take the money that ESPN offered him for like a 4-fight deal. It was a 4-fight deal. And just because of that, he didn't take that fight. Okay? Or he wanted to turn around and, hey, you know what? Because Deontay Wilder didn't get this rematch and I really wanted this rematch, what the hell am I signing this deal for if I can't get the fights that I want? So I'm going to have to decline this offer because I want Deontay Wilder. Those type of things have to happen. But then, here's the thing. Fighters are not going to do that, but here's the question. Why should they? Same for Deontay Wilder. Whatever he's getting from Showtime, to stay with Showtime, to continue fighting on Showtime and Fox, but mostly Showtime. Whatever he was getting, that's just like saying, hey, I want Joshua. If you guys can't get me Joshua and you can't work with Eddie or whatever and get dual broadcaster companies together to get this fight done, I'm leaving Showtime and then I will go with DAZN. You see what I'm saying? But that's the contradiction because they didn't want to stay with DAZN because they were worried about another person's pockets. So at the end of the day, none of these guys are trying to give up ground on where they stand. They're not trying to leap out to do something that they feel is better for the sacrifice of getting an undisputed situation or undisputed crown. But someone has to do that. Someone has to go out on their own, like Oscar De La Hoya, like Floyd Mayweather, like Lennox Lewis, like a lot of these fighters that actually had to go. Bernard Hopkins is another one. They had to actually go out and said, screw the promotional company. I'm going to promote myself. I'm going to get the fights that I know I need to secure my legacy and get this fight done, or get these fights done. So that's what I see. You got Deontay at Showtime, you got Tyson Fury at ESPN, and you got Joshua currently fighting on DAZN, and no one's trying to go anywhere because where they're at, they're getting paid. So Tyson Fury is right if they wanted to fight each other. But then at what cost? That's the question. At what cost do these guys have to sacrifice their promotional company, the place, their platform? Like, why would they do that for another fighter that's not trying to do that? You know what I'm saying? The only way that is going to happen, someone other than DAZN would have to come in, some big billionaire tycoon would have to come in, buy rights to all their fights. That's the only way that's going to happen. Will that likely happen? No. But that's the only way I see it. If someone else comes around that's not involved with any of those promotional, those networks, right? And comes and offers a deal for all these guys to fight in a huge heavyweight tournament for the undisputed lineal champion of the world. That's the only way that's going to happen. But until then, this is what we have. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's latest interview. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.